Did you know that I've had my own lip filler disaster? Well, I chose to get my lips filled a few years ago, and it was absolutely awful. So why did I even consider having lip filler? I was never particularly bothered by my lips. I didn't draw them beyond the border. I don't really even wear much lip gloss or lipstick. So yeah, they weren't really bothering me. I had noticed a little bit of lip volume, sort of volume loss in my lips, and I thought I better understand what my patients are going through. I'd already started doing lip fillers for patients, and what better way to understand? And obviously, at that point, I didn't need any filler anywhere else. So it just seemed like a logical place to start. Something so simple, potentially beautifying. I thought, oh, and then I think you're influenced by what you see on social media. And I'd seen some beautiful results. I'd particularly been following Dr. Harris, and Dr. Harris in London, and he's got some lovely natural looking results, and I thought, oh yeah, that would be amazing. So I tried to do them myself. Crazy, I know. I don't recommend injecting yourself, so don't do it if you're a practitioner. And I thought, yeah, that's just the easiest way. I'll do them myself. So it was extremely painful. I bruised so badly. My husband wasn't really interested in helping in any way because he's actually also trained in it. He didn't think I needed them doing. To be honest, I didn't do a bad job, but I felt they were slightly unbalanced. My husband actually quite liked the result, and I'll show you the before and afters now. So what happened was I just wanted another 0.5 ml put in by someone else, because obviously realizing that it's hard. I would have liked to go to Dr. Harris, but he had like a 6-month waiting list, and I'm not very good at planning ahead. So I happened to be going to my trainer for another course, and I thought, well, why not? At least because it was kind of in the middle of COVID, it just meant like I'm already there, could do it in my lunch break, and that kind of thing. Anyway, that was probably crazy. Again, I didn't tell my husband I was going to do it. I heard him call for another mil of filler. So he'd already put 1 mil of filler in my lips. He called for another mil. I should have stopped him. I know I should have stopped him. But you leave it in their hands. They know better. I thought I'd explain to him what I wanted to achieve. Anyway, I hated them. They were too big. I felt like they were out of proportion to my face. If I show you the before and after, a lot of my patients will say, well, that's not bad. That doesn't look bad. But for me, I didn't like them on my face. And so, yeah. So by the time I got home, they were double the size, and my husband mocked me, absolutely mocked me. I'll show you a photo of what he does when he mocks people with lip filler. So anyway, I bruised again. I let it settle, but I was immediately messaging the injector, not very happy with them. but I know you need to let them settle, so I did. So as they settled, I got that sort of migration, or that trout pout, top lip, duck lip thing going on. So basically, I think that's from too much filler. It just has nowhere else to go but to go up. So my lips started sticking out, and my lips were too wide. So a filler put all the way to the corner, and I started developing these lines. I mean, I've got them now as I'm aging, but they weren't there before the lip filler, and then suddenly they were there afterwards, and I looked a bit like a monkey. So I'll show you the before and afters. So this is when they are fresh. You can see the front on, and then the side profile. I've got my before, my after I did my lip filler, and then what the other practitioner did for me. And then once they settle, the same thing. So I've got the front, the side, and then what they look like when they settled. And I would catch myself looking in the mirror, and I could just, it was so obvious that I'd had lip filler, and now when I show patients my lip filler experience, in the photos it doesn't look that bad. They're like, oh no, that's not so bad. But knowing what I know now, it's just so much worse in reality. So when you're seeing people with bad lips on the streets and being put off, that sometimes could have looked like an okay before and after, but you're seeing the reality of that. And then I hid. I absolutely hated them. I hid, and I can only be so thankful that we were sort of in the pandemic, and at school drop-offs we were having to wear masks. So I stopped walking the kids to school, because how do you explain walking from your home to the school with a mask on? So I'd wait to the very last minute, drive them down, whip on the mask, hide my face, forget to take them off if I was walking, but eventually I had to show my face. No one said anything, of course. The British are too polite to point out that you might have some bad lip filler, because let's be honest, it's quite prevalent. So anyway, I waited for a month for them to settle, so that I was sure that that's sort of the final result. And I was unhappy with them, so I started strategically dissolving them, basically dissolving the spread, dissolving the amount that's making my mouth wide. I also had extreme sort of lumpy bits, and so they were bothering me a lot. So I would strategically dissolve those lumps. So that is my lip filler disaster. And even after dissolving them, I probably never took the final before and after, but you can see here how they improved after a bit of dissolving. So I did it slowly, because at the end of the day, I didn't want to take away all the filler that I'd had. I hadn't minded my lips after I had done them. It was just the bad lip filler, really. So yeah, so I strategically dissolved, and I was much happier with them. But every now and then I would still catch myself in certain lighting, certain angles, where I thought I could see that they were filled, which is fine. It wasn't bothering me anymore, and I don't think other people could have really picked that up so much. So what have I learned from my lip filler disaster? Number one, choose your practitioner wisely. And it isn't just about their qualifications. I mean, my practitioner was my original trainer, who taught me about lip filler, and is highly esteemed in the world of aesthetics. So, but I knew actually that I didn't quite like the results, that some of them were fake. But I still trusted him to listen to me. So, number one, choose your practitioner, not just about skill or qualifications, but about the results that they give. So have a look at your before and afters, and make sure that is in line, and their ethos and their what they stand for is in line with what you are wanting. And don't feel bad to go and have a consultation and then not follow through. It's about you finding the right practitioner for you. Don't get more than half a mil of filler at one time, because I believe that the more filler you put in, the more likely there is to be migration. If you have a desire to build up your lips, then plan for sessions, plan for building them up over time. So allow that to settle, then go and add another half a mil each time, so that you are getting to your desired result. I think even if at the end of the day you've had 1 mil of filler put in, but over 2 sessions, it's very different to having 1 mil of filler put in one session. I think the result that you'll get is different. You know, I've now changed the technique that I use for lip fillers, because clearly the one I was taught isn't going to give my patients natural results, and that's what I'm all about, is natural results. So don't come to me if you want Russian lips. It's not going to happen. So I've adopted Dr. Harris's technique, because at the end of the day, I like the results that his lip fillers give. So I now do his technique on my patients. I'm not trying to put you off having lip filler. I do believe that it's important, but don't believe all the before and afters you see, because I think if you're wanting natural, it needs to be such a subtle change that it's really hard to pick up in a before and after. And so when you're seeing these before and afters on social media and they look gorgeous, number one, watch out, because a lot of them put lip gloss on afterwards. They've got a filter on, so the skin looks different. And you're often just seeing this very isolated thing. And just know that that's not the final result. So I often like to show some mixes to my patients, some straight off the needle and some about a month or so down the line where they've settled nicely, and this is the final result, because at the end of the day, that's what you're wanting. I guess I also know now to really listen to my patients and just know that you're not alone, and you can dissolve it. And you can strategically dissolve it if you don't want to get rid of it completely, just that you want to make it, get rid of the bad things. So yeah, I hope that helps you. The reason I wanted to share it is so that you could understand where I've come from, that I can understand your worries, because I think that's a lot of the time why people don't want to have filler done. They don't want people to know, they don't want it to look fake, and it is possible to have good lip fillers. So that is my lip filler disaster. I think by now they've kind of gone down, because it is good 5 years ago that I've had my lips done, and I'm in no rush to get them done again. And if I do, I'll be going to Dr. Harris.